Hi, guys. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, you guys? I am very, very excited about this live that I'm doing. Oh, let me move over. How's everybody doing? Are we good? Hello. Hard eyes back at you guys. Okay, so I am going to be going live with Hunter McGrady, which I'm very excited about. Been a fan of hers for a while, and then met her through mutual friends via the internet. So we've never actually met in person. Let me see if I have her on here. Oh, nope, that's not it. Hi. Hi, Dad. All right. There she is.
Is this working?
Hi! Oh my
How
gosh, I
are
was
you,
just
love?
saying, I was like, we've never actually met in person, which is so strange to me.
I know. It's so funny though, because I feel like I know you because we have so many mutual friends in common.
I know. And I
I
just
love also that
have
we're
followed
both
you for
doing
so
this.
long that I'm like, I was at your wedding. I was in my head because I've
And
seen
I
all the
was at
pictures of
yours.
everything.
It was gorgeous.
How
I
are
love
you?
that we're
How's
both doing this.
quarantine?
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just talking to my husband about this. It's a really weird time, but I also feel like I'm being able to connect with people more than ever. Like for you, for instance, like we're able to talk today and kind of get to know each other. So I think in that instance, it's great, but it's weird. It's very it's like very unknown, which is like navigating that is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, how
It's
about you?
it's so interesting because I think, as human beings, we crave connection so much. So in one way, it's crazy because as a human race, we've never dealt with this before. And then now we're all having to figure out ways to connect with each other without
Right.
actually physically being in each other's presence. So that's
Right. And thank
exactly
God for
why,
social media.
yeah. And that's exactly why I decided that I wanted to do this because I was like, I want to talk to people from like all different walks of life, people who own small businesses, people that I'm not in the same industry as, and just kind of
Right.
figure out where everybody's at and what we can all learn from each
Yeah.
other. And so
I
I'm so
know.
happy you decided to do this with me.
I'm so excited. I love that we're both doing it in our closets too. You have close
Yes.
behind, I have close behind.
I love a closet moment. You have
It's a
windows in your closet. I don't have windows in mine.
oh my
So,
gosh, yeah, except yeah. They said it faces right out my neighbor's backyard. So how useful they are, I don't
oh,
know.
great. So you just are changing and people are
Just
just getting a show.
giving them a free show. Lucky ducks.
Love it. I'm gonna put music on because it's very quiet.
Amazing. How are you? Are you with your hubby?
I am with my hubby.
Okay,
Thank
good.
thankfully. Yeah, it's interesting because I spend so much time not at home and like
Yeah,
not with my husband that I'm always like, oh my gosh, I wish I was home. I wish, I wasn't working or whatever.
right.
And now I'm getting exactly what I asked for, which is like 24 hours a day with my husband. But now I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I could go back to work.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel the same exact way because he, goes into work and works 9 to 5, and I'm traveling as you are all the time, and I
Yeah.
spend a lot of my time in LA. So now he's just like, we'll like cross paths. Luckily, he's upstairs. His office is created, upstairs, and I'm downstairs. But I'm like, let's just like meet each other at dinner, because otherwise we're gonna go crazy. Like,
Yeah. Are you guys doing any sort of, are you finding ways to do any sort of like date nights or, keep things
yes.
interesting?
So it's funny because we started last week. So we each have a night. So I have Tuesday, he has Thursday. We are basically creating date nights. So for instance, today's Tuesday, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So tonight I have dinner and it'll be like a theme. We play music. So last week he did Italian and he had Italian throughout the entire house and was just like wearing a little chef hat, lots of chef kisses. We're trying to keep it, we're trying to do some themes.
All
I'm
right, Paul, if you're
picnic.
watching this, take notes.
You know, yeah. It's hard because it's like, how can you keep things interesting without just like sitting on the couch and being like, okay, well, yeah. What do you want to do? Do we continue watching 90 Day Fiance or like, what do we do? You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I get it.
Crazy.
It's been so funny because I love to cook. And so I'm finding that I'm cooking like 10 meals a day. I'll like finish breakfast and then I'm like, what do you want for lunch?
Yeah.
Finish totally. Lunch. What do you want for dinner?
Oh my God. 100%. You should do like, it's funny because you should do a like a cooking tutorial. For some reason, banana bread everyone is making right now.
I saw I'm not gonna lie, I made banana bread.
I have yet to make it. I'm on my way. That's my next thing.
I feel like it's because like I don't know, everybody has bananas unless you're a person who doesn't like bananas. So yeah. I'm not singling anybody out. But I feel like they like wind up turning so quickly that it's like, what do I do with these soft bananas? I guess I'm gonna make banana bread.
I love it. I love it.
It's so crazy. So obviously with modeling and stuff, so what is this whole coronavirus do for that? Because you obviously like can't be doing photo shoots and you can't, I mean you could at home, but in terms
that's
of
kind of the extent of my photo shoots right now are, you know, selfies and me at home. You know, it's weird. Everything really came to a complete halt and within a matter of days. It was like, oh, we're talking about it. You know, I had a lot of shoots scheduled for 3 weeks ago, you know, during that first week, and they all got shut down. And I was like, okay, maybe this will be like an easy, you know, kind of transition. And then really everything was just like, nope, canceled or pushed back or, you know, canceled indefinitely, whatever. So it's been really weird and challenging. And I'm sure the listeners or watchers can kind of feel the same way with any of our careers and jobs right now. What I do find solace in is that we are all feeling this, you know, unless you're on the front lines, like a nurse or someone in a essential job. We're all kind of like in this weird, like, what's going to happen? When is it going to come back? How normal is it going to be? You know,
I think of that all the time because I work on a set, which, I mean, for those of you who don't know, it's not just like the actors and a camera person. It's like lighting, grips, script coordinators, props people. Like there's so many people on a set. So it's like, how do we come out of this thing and move forward and be able to, you know, be together in close proximity and not be afraid of that? Which it's like, I can't even picture that now.
I know. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, you know, with what we do, I mean, granted, it's so different, but yet it's there's still some similarities. And we both like are on a set with a big team. Yours is much grander than mine. But, you know, it's like, how do we feel comfortable with someone doing our makeup? And, you know, what is our new normal going to be after this? You know, and I think that, you know, my husband and I were talking, we were like, people are going to be wearing masks for the next year. It already feels weird going into a grocery store and there's like, everybody's in a mask, everyone's in gloves.
And if like, you're the only one not in a mask, you're like, ah.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, I cannot believe, stay clear. Like, it's just really crazy.
The amount of attention you get if you have like a subtle cough or a sneeze.
I'm holding my coughs in until my face, I'm literally start sweating because if I even have like something in my throat, I'm literally holding it back because I'm like, they're going to think the absolute worst.
Oh yeah.
You know, but
so this is the first time that I'm getting to talk to you and I just want to know, I'm like so interested. The modeling world is so insane to me. I want to know like how you got into it and how you like started modeling.
Yeah. So I started modeling because, so I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. My dad's an actor, still currently an actor, and has been for 38 years. So I was always around
Amazing.
it. And my mom was a model. So I was really always around this industry in one way or another. And I just remember looking at magazines with my mom and being like, oh my God, I want to be just like her. And still 26 years later, I still want to be just like her. And it, so that was kind of where everything sparked. And then at 16, I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go. I started as what the industry calls a straight size model. Granted, I don't love to give anything a label because we're all models. We're all doing that job.
Oh,
But,
wait, hold on. You're breaking
size...
up. Can you see me?
Oh, am I? I can
Yeah,
see
you were just breaking up a little bit.
If these things are
I heard
always
you say you were around
never
it.
know.
Okay, now I can hear you. So you were around it all the time. And then when you were 16, what?
So when I was 16, I learned about, modeling and what I wanted to do. And I started out as a straight size model. What they call in the industry is just the models you're used to seeing. I was a size 2. I'm 6 feet tall, so that looks very different than I do now. And that was just not something that I could keep up with. It was something that I was constantly going against every natural inclination that my body wanted. I was trying to lose more and more weight. At one point, I was 114 pounds. And I remember going into my agency and they were like, listen, you still have to lose 3 inches off your hips. And I was like, I literally cannot. Like, that is bone. That's it. Like, call it. My hands are tied. There's no more I can do. So from that point on, I took a break from modeling and then took a break from my dream. Essentially, I thought, well, that's it. Plus modeling wasn't really something that was around when I was 16. You didn't see it. You didn't see diversity really on TV and film or magazines. So fast forward to being 19, I had seen this Italian Vogue, which had 3 beautiful plus models who are now, some of my girlfriends, Robin Lawley, Tara Lynn, and Candice Huffine, who are like mega amazing, powerful women. Unreal. Who are just like unreal. I saw them on the cover of Vogue Italia and I was like, oh my God, my body looks like them. So I learned about plus size modeling. I learned about what that entailed. And I went to an agency and was like, let's just try this out. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see if they take me on, whatever. I signed that day and it was like off to the races. So it was really confirmation that, the work that I had done between 16 and 19, which was therapy, learning to love my body, learning that like stretch marks and cellulite is okay. And like, these things are all very normal. And really finding myself kind of led to that moment of, okay, cool. This is where you're meant to be, And it was a really eye-opening moment. And then in 2017, I booked Sports Illustrated, and I just shot my 4th issue with them.
That is unbelievable. So many questions. I want to kind of go back to them telling you, because I don't have anybody saying to me, you have to lose this many inches or whatever, but there is a certain, in acting there is like a certain mold where they're like, all right, well, they didn't pick you because you're not tall enough, or they didn't pick you because you're not blonde, or they didn't pick you because I'm sure that there is, like, I auditioned for this one movie where I was supposed to be kind of like frumpy and dumpy, and I didn't get it because I wasn't frumpy enough, like,
it's like you can never win.
You can never win. There's 1,000,001 reasons why you don't get a role or something, because these people are trying to find exactly what they're looking for. And if you're it, you're going to be it when you walk in the room. But to be a model, you kind of have to fit within these certain measures. And what did you call them? Straight models?
So I personally hate putting any label, because I'm like, for me, I'm like, we're models.
That was my other question for you.
Yeah. In the industry, it's like a straight size model and then a plus size model. And then there's in-betweenies. And, it's kind of crazy because
in-betweenies. I like that one.
Yes.
I think everybody should be an in-betweenie. Because then you can fluctuate whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Live your best life. I think that's you know, exactly it. It's these parameters that this industry and in both industries, because I have friends who are, you know, in film and television and who are like, yeah, they told me to lose another 10 pounds or they told me to gain weight and that's hard for me, whatever it is. And I think it's just these like parameters that are really unrealistic.
I love this.
And so
somebody goes proud in betweeny here.
yes, proud in betweeny. I love it. Shout out.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine. Like, I commend anybody who's in the industry because I can't even imagine the amount of mental turmoil it puts you through. Like feeling that you have to conform to this or that, or like you're 6 feet tall, 114 pounds. That's insane. That's like,
I'm real.
This big.
Tiny.
So like for somebody to be like, you need to lose more is crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was really like, I was like, is this what it's going to be like? Is this modeling? Like, is this what everyone feels like? And the truth of the matter is that we all have different bodies of different sizes. Like, you know, I know where my body sits at a comfortable, healthy size. And that's not a size 2. That's more like a 14, 16. And I'm an 18 now. I mean, you know, but I'm proud in my body. I'm comfortable as I am. And I own every minute of it. But I think there's that realization also, like there are girls who are smaller and who are like a size 0, 2, and that's their natural body. And that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
You know, so I
think it's just so crazy. And, you know, I deal with it and I'm tiny. Like I am, I'm like a size, like comfortably a size 4, sometimes a size 2 when I'm really getting it in the gym. But like even me, like I'm in this quarantine and I'm just like, I don't care. I want cereal. I want Pop-Tarts. I want pasta. And I'm going to wear sweatshirts and sweatpants every day.
Yes. That is totally fine too. I think that, you know, right now with the quarantine, there's so much pressure of, I posted yesterday, I was like, listen, you know, on my story, it was something that said, you know, we have the time, but we may not have the mental capacity. Like we may not have the mental capacity to be working out like 5 hours a day, like some of our friends are. For me, I'm like, yesterday, all I wanted to do was sit on the couch and watch TV, and that's totally fine. You know, and I think that that's important to, you know, if you want to get up and you want to do something, if you want to work out, whatever you want to do at this time. None of us have ever been in this situation. None of our parents have ever been in this situation.
Everybody's navigating it for the first time.
Yeah.
So for you, like, I mean, I know I don't deal with it well, but like, how do you handle criticism in your industry from just like followers or, you know, like people who like, because, you know, there are the people who are the trolls. I feel very grateful that like people who follow me are always very kind. I don't really get people being jerks, but you know, it's not so to say that there aren't the people that like seek you out to be mean. Like there are some people that will come to my page and write something mean and I'm like, delete, you don't belong here.
Right. And that's the thing, is that it's like, I have my fair share of trolls. Like I definitely have my, you know, people who, again, I'm a plus size woman in a world where that's not fully accepted yet. And that's just the reality.
Yeah.
You know, so I deal with people who, you know, fat shame, or they're like, anytime, you know, Sports Illustrated comes out, it's like, what is this whale doing on, you know, Sports Illustrated, or there's nothing sports about this. For me, I have really learned to just let it roll off my back. And the quote that I literally live by is, hurting people hurt people, you know, simply put. So that is someone who's hurting and they're projecting that on me, and that has no reflection of the person I am, what I bring to the world, you know. And my favorite comeback when someone says something like that is, oh, don't be silly. Because they're just like, what? That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for something combative. And I'm like, oh, don't be silly.
It's so hard. Like, I don't respond to anybody. I know that like a response is what they want, but it does, you know, I'm still a person on the other end of this comment or this.
People forget.
And it's, you know, people forget, but it's because, you know, when they see you on Sports Illustrated or they see me on The Bold Type or whatever, like you're kind of this weirdly, like it's almost like you don't exist in the real world. So then like, even when people see me in person, they're like, oh my God, you're shorter, or you're this,
Totally.
like, you're not what I thought.
Yeah, well, they have this like preconceived idea of you. And it's
Yeah.
funny because, you know, my dad, he's an actor as well, and he's 6'3", he's huge. He always plays bad guys. Always.
Wait,
So,
I need to know, what has your dad been in?
oh my gosh, his name's Michael McGrady. He's like the bad guy that you know in like every, you know, cop television show. But everyone always sees him in
Oh
person and
my
they're like,
God, yes.
yeah, he's like you always recognize his face. But he's
Oh
a big
yeah.
guy. And people always think that he is the person that he plays. And he's like, I'm really a nice guy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to like beat you up or, you know.
That is
But
so funny, because sometimes people do get like mad at you based on a character decision that your character made, and you're like, it's not me.
it's not me at all. Yeah, it's very interesting. But
Did your dad or your mom have any sort of advice to you, kind of like going into the industry?
I think the biggest thing is, you know, you're never going to make everybody happy. So just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know this, you get pulled in a million different ways, and you have to do what's best for you, point blank. If you have to say no to people, you say no to people. And at a certain point in your career, you have a lot of yes men. And I think that learning to navigate that and still kind of veer where your true north is so important. But yeah, I think that's the biggest advice was, you know, just, you're never going to make everybody happy. You know, what about you? I feel like you, I'm sure, have something, because is any of your parents in the industry, or did you just come into this? So you were like,
yeah, I did like an interview for this magazine shoot that I did this morning. And she was just kind of like asking me like how I got into acting and stuff. And I was like, honestly, like my parents had work and needed to put my brother and I in camp. And the only camp that went from 9 to 5 was like a theater camp.
Oh my God.
So my parents put me and my brother in this theater camp, not really realizing that we would love it.
Right.
And then my brother, after we did this one, I think it was like Wizard of Oz, and I was like a munchkin. And my mom tells the story all the time about how like where I was placed was in the back.
And you're like, no.
And if anybody has seen, you know, the play of the Wizard of Oz, you know, it's always like the witch appears and then disappears, and then Dorothy's wearing the shoes. And I wanted to like be near the shoes. So like I would work my way up to the front of the stage. Like I just needed to be at the front of the stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like, my brother and I both got bit by the bug. And I think that my parents, you know, my mom like makes jokes sometimes where she's like, why couldn't you guys just have 9 to 5s?
Yeah,
Why
just the doctor.
Well, it's just because, you know, as parents, like you want, I will know, I'm sure, when I have my own kids, but like my mom is always, you know, so heartbroken for my brother and I if something, and my dad too, if something doesn't go our way, you know, if we audition for something and we're really excited about it and we don't get it, or if we're struggling to book anything at all, like it's just really hard to watch your kids struggle. And there's so much rejection, and especially like my parents, not that they haven't gone out for a job that they haven't gotten, but you know, my dad worked in one job for like 20 something years. My mom worked with my grandfather and my uncles. And so they just kind of worked in these one jobs. And so it was never really something. And I think that my parents too, you know, my parents have their own passions that they do on the side, but their careers weren't necessarily their passions. So I feel really grateful that I have parents that allowed us to pursue our passions and have allowed us and supported us to turn those passions into careers.
Absolutely. So, I think that's, you know, having that support is like the catalyst that kind of just holds everything together, and is the, you know, I didn't know your brother was in this too.
Yeah.
He's an actor as well.
He is an actor as well. He actually like is kind of the reason why I act.
Okay.
Like I would watch my brother be in all of these plays because he's 2 years older than me, and I would always want to do the same thing as him. So when he was playing the piano, I started learning the piano. When he was playing the guitar, I started learning the guitar. And so I always like followed him, but when I auditioned for American Idol, he was in college. And so he was kind of like, yeah, I don't really want to audition for it. So I auditioned and I wound up making it. And that's kind of like how I started. But I brought him on the American Idol tour with me. And
no way.
I'm actually, so I'm allowed to announce this, but he got a role on The Bold Type. And he's going to be, so he's supposed to be in the last 2 episodes of the back half of the season, but those are the episodes we didn't get to finish.
Oh my God. How fun will that be?
If we don't get to finish it for the back half of the season and we wind up having to just air what we have finished, then if we get a season 5, hopefully those 2 episodes will be the start of season 5. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh.
Fingers crossed. But yeah, he came to,
I'm going to put,
yes,
I'm going to put
it was
that
so awesome
out there.
I got to have him on set, and it was like his first like major TV filming experience, and he was awesome. So
how cool is that? And I didn't know you did American Idol. So how far, I'm like so curious. So you did American Idol.
Yeah, when I was 16. Yeah, I was 16. So it was, oh my God, that's so crazy. It was 10 years ago, like right now.
How far did you get on it?
I was 8th.
Oh my God, you practically won the thing. This person was season 5, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We were season 9. It was a million years ago. Yeah.
Wow. What a like pressure for 16 years old. That's like most kids your age are in high school and they're like, going to parties. And
I like got up in the middle of math class because my mom came to school to pick me up to take me to Boston to audition. And I like got up in math class and I was like, all right, guys, I'm going. And everyone was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're like,
have fun.
Katie. Yeah.
But then I had to tell people I didn't make it because we weren't going to be doing the judges auditions for like months after that. So I had to like go to school, and all the girls who were mean to me were like, so did you make it? And I was like, no, I don't want to talk about it. And I couldn't
now
tell them that I actually did.
How are you? You look great. How is everything?
I know. But it was crazy because like I was going up against people on the show who were, up to 10 years older than me, and they had all been already performing out and doing like bar gigs and things like that. And I had only performed in front of like my high school talent show.
Oh my gosh.
So that is and then you have to be judged. You get judges being like, you don't know who you are, and you're like, yeah, I'm 16.
Yeah, you're like, exactly.
Yeah. Did you know who you were when you were 16?
Yeah. Because your voice is like unbelievable. Like I'm waiting for you to have an album. I'm hoping that is like or an EP, something. I'm hoping it's in the works because is that something that you are like still passionate about and still want to pursue?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of like had a breakdown last year because I came to this realization that I basically have stopped singing like since I got into the acting world. Like singing was something that I put on the back burner, but I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's like PTSD of doing Idol and like coming onto the show thinking that I was hot shit and getting judged and kind of brought back down to earth, which is necessary. But at the same time, at the same time, I kind of was like, I got off the show after not winning, and they don't really guide you to any sort of thing when you get off the show. So I was kind of like, I don't know what kind of music I'm supposed to do now. I don't know where I'm supposed to start an album. Like, so it was kind of this, I was lost in the woods and I got really discouraged, and that's kind of how I transitioned into acting and auditioning for things. But like a couple months ago, I still sing all the time, and obviously my husband's a music producer and a songwriter. Very excited. Today he got announced he's in the top 10 of country music producers.
Stop!
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, an article came out today, and he was like,
congratulations to him.
Yeah,
okay,
we're
getting
so
good
cool
news today, people.
Yes,
Coronavirus
good news.
is not gonna hold us down. That's so exciting.
But I just was like, there's no reason not to. Like, especially in this quarantine now, like life is so short and like time is so limited that I'm just like, I cannot allow my doubts, my self-doubts, or my fears of not being good enough prevent
Yeah.
me from doing something, because I don't want to get to be in my old age and be like, man,
Yeah.
that's stupid. Why did I not do that? Why did I not try that? And I think
Yeah.
that's something my parents always said to us. Like, they never wanted to be the reason that we didn't try. So, like, they were like, sure, you could move to LA. Sure, you can try that. Because they didn't ever want us to, like, grow up being like, I should have done that
Resentful.
when I had the
Yeah.
time. And now we got all
Absolutely.
the time in the world.
Absolutely. And I think that that's the greatest thing is, you know, it's like during this, as crazy as and awful as this all is, it's like, I think a lot of us have put a lot of different things in perspective, like
Yeah.
things we really need, things that were frivolous, things that we are passionate about, things that, you know, we're like, you know what, I really should be doing that, or I can do this, you know. And I think that a lot of times people get, you know, life gets in the way and they allow it to kind of control our passions and our hearts and things that we want to do. And during this time, we've had a lot of time to think, and we've had a lot of time secluded, hopefully, if you're staying home.
Stay home.
Yes, stay home. You know, and I think that it's been really eye-opening, the whole experience.
Yeah.
But I
well,
love
you, speaking of things that we're doing and dreams that we're outliving, you have a clothing line.
Yes, it's coming out on April 22nd.
That's so exciting.
I'm so excited. It's something that I've been passionate about for so long. And again, inclusivity is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And
it's called Allworthy, which I love.
Yes, it's called Allworthy, which is a hashtag I created in 2016. And then I kind of like transformed it into my line. And you know, it's, for me, I had gone around with different brands to kind of be the umbrella for my clothing line, and no one had the sizing that I wanted. So I always say, like, I want to live in a world where, you know, you, Katie, and I can wear the same garment and they offer in the same, in all of our sizes, right?
Yeah.
That just isn't available for so many people and under so many brands. And I was like, I'm not going to put something out because I'm not going to put, I want to put my money where my mouth is. And I want to, if I'm going to preach and talk on inclusivity, I'm going to put out an inclusive line. So super exciting. We have a really large size range of 0 to 36, extra small to 5X. I'm like so pumped for it.
That's incredible.
We're already working on 2021 spring. So it's like we have some really killer stuff coming out.
That is so exciting and incredible.
Yeah.
Look, like it's really nice. I don't know, you can probably better educate me, but I do feel like I'm seeing more inclusivity on runways, maybe not to the extent that we need to be at right now, but I feel like there are certain designers that are wanting to have that inclusivity and to kind of move the fashion industry in that
yeah, I think, you know, it's slowly but surely getting there. Every time I watch a runway show and there is someone of like, not just size diversity, like I want to see all types of backgrounds. I want to see all different types of people, because that's what we can all relate to, you know? But yeah, during Fashion Week, that was another thing. I took a stand. This is my second Fashion Week I've done this, where I had to turn down any show that was not inclusive or any party that was not inclusive. So any brand that doesn't sell, you know, above, you know, a size 10, I'm not going to attend. Any brand, for instance, it was really empowering. It was really hard because I turned down two of like my dream designers to sit front row, but they, even though they offer a larger size, they weren't going to be having any plus models on the runway. And I was like, I unfortunately cannot support that, you know?
I've never even been to Fashion Week because I'm just like, it's all, I would love to go, but it's all like very overwhelming to me.
It is so overwhelming. It's so crazy. I think that honestly in the next 10 years, we'll find a lot of this will like simmer out. But
we actually did an episode of the Bold Type. Tess Holiday was on it, and it was actually our body positivity episode that we did.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. I love that.
And all of it's really cool because we also did an episode. I mean, people who watch the show, all of them are blurring together for me. So don't, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I know that
They'll know, you know?
There was like I think it was the finale of not 4, but 3. Shit, it's all blurring together. But anyways, we had like a shoot. We had a shoot where it was, you know, men who wanted to have their beards but wanted to wear dresses because they're, you know, gender non-binary, and we had like all these different people, and it was so like inclusive, this photo shoot that Sutton wanted to do, and we did another one where we, the girls, like picked out things that we're self-conscious about, and Megan chose, she has like a bunch of scars from a surgery that she had when she was younger. Aisha wanted to showcase like her stretch marks that are on her thighs and her butt. And I have like crazy moles all over my body.
I love it.
I wanted to showcase, and we got to do this whole body positivity empowering episode, which was really awesome.
Oh my gosh. Like, how important, that's amazing that it's ABC, right?
Freeform.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Same
crazy.
Family.
It's crazy that like, that's amazing to me because they know the audience is going to see that. And that is so crucial, especially right now, to be like, okay, this is, you guys are willing to put yourself and be vulnerable out there. But most importantly, the fans and the people watching, that's going to hit home for so many of them.
Yeah.
You know? And that's amazing. I mean, oh my God, I have to go back and watch that episode.
Yeah. It's
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you're creating and you're advocating to have such inclusivity in sizes and everything. I know you personally, you like helped one of my best friends find her dream wedding dress, because all of these wedding dress boutiques have been, you know, they run up to like a size 8 and they don't offer anything more. And she was kind of like, I don't want to be having the moment that's supposed to be the most special moment of my life where I'm trying on dresses, feeling like I'm pouring out of these dresses because I'm not a sample size. And so I think she talked to you, and you told her about your wedding dresses, and she picked the most gorgeous, stunning, she's the most beautiful bride in this dress. We can't ruin it in case her husband is watching.
I know. I literally, they sent me that photo and I was like, unbelievable. She's a goddess. That dress
also is the most beautiful human on the planet. Just
inside
what
out.
a heart.
The whole family's just absolutely amazing. She looked stunning in that dress. Her husband is going to be on the floor sobbing.
Oh.
Or her soon-to-be husband.
Me.
You're going to be sobbing.
Weeping.
That's the thing. Like, even something as like simple, you know, as you would think, oh, they have wedding dresses for, you know, curvy girls, and it's like, that was a really hard thing for me to find. And so when I, you know, contacted the people who ended up designing my wedding dresses, they were like, listen, like, let's sell these, you know, let's do a little line. And it's been amazing. And I think on that day, you know, you just recently got married, right?
Yes. Yeah.
When did you get married?
October I got married. Which I'm like, wow, thank God I got married when I did. Also, if you are watching this and you are somebody who is supposed to get married in 2020, I just want you to know that my heart is with you, and you deserve to have the most beautiful day, and it deserves to be what you want it to be, and you will have that day. You will. And
it will come, even if you have to postpone it. I think it's for the better, because I had a girlfriend who was supposed to get married this week, and she postponed it to 2021. And I'm like, listen, the silver lining, you have even more time to fine tune. It'll be so amazing. The guest, they have something to look forward to. Yeah. I know my heart goes out to them.
And also I see so many people that are like doing these like cute like at home weddings, and they have like their guests on Zoom, and it's, you know, it's not what they expected it to be, but I think that the most important thing is that you're like marrying your person, and
absolutely
that's it.
I mean, I would have married
the party later.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would have married my husband in our living room with like a, you know, string around my finger and been totally happy, because I just wanted him, you know, in my life and to be my husband. But it's a really weird time, and I had a girlfriend of mine get married in Central Park 2 weeks ago. She was in quarantine, but it was just her and the pastor, and they Instagram lived it. Everyone was 6 feet apart besides her and her fiance, but it was just this like, she had this wedding plan and she was like, listen, I still want to keep the day. I'm still going to get married. So everyone was on Instagram live watching it. They ended up being on like Good Morning America and all this stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
But I love so much that you designed wedding dresses, because I also find, like, with my friends who I've talked to about it, it's like, yeah, they have dresses for girls who are plus size, but it's like every girl wants to go on Pinterest and like pick a dress that's like form-fitting and detailed and all that stuff. And it's like, yes, they have dresses for women who are a bigger size, but they're not the same. Like, it's like they don't have the same variety that they have for the sample sizes, and that's unfair. So the fact that you are creating something so that every single person is able to have that same feeling, the same style, the same variety, like, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet.
Your wedding dress, I was just like, jaw, floor. And then you were on the cover of The Knot, and I was like, goodbye.
It's so funny because for my wedding, I was like, I would go shopping for a wedding dress and I'd be like, okay, so I want something tight, I want lace, and then like I want a second dress, I want high neck. And that's like everything I've been told as a plus size woman to not wear. They're like, you want something tight, hugging your curves? You want something high neck, but you have double D's? Like, they were so shocked. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to make it myself then.
Well,
because
and you're like, also like, get out of here.
Yeah,
I'm like, loves my curves. Get out.
Exactly. Yeah, and like that was the thing. I was like, by the way, like not everybody hates their body. Like, it's totally beautiful and amazing to love your body and to want to show it off. And that was the style I wanted. And I was like, you know what? I want it tight fitting. I want to show my curves. I want it to feel sexy. And my second dress was kind of like an ode to Meghan Markle's.
I was gonna say that.
Yes, her Stella McCartney dress. I was looking high and low. I was like, there's nobody that makes it in my size. So I took it to my designers and they made it, and it was amazing. But yeah, it's just like, I literally had to take that into my own hands and make that, but it sucks that there's not more and more and more out there.
Yeah.
For people, but I'm hoping that changes soon.
Yeah. All right. I want to open it up to people who want to ask us questions.
Yes, I've seen some questions roll through. I'm just.
Yes. All right. Question for Hunter. What agency did you sign with when you first started as a plus size model?
I signed with Wilhelmina Models, and I was with Wilhelmina for, I think 9 years. So I'm currently with One Models in New York.
Awesome. Yeah. Is it bad that like I like didn't know that like Wilhelmina was so like that they had, I feel like I always think of like the big agencies as being the ones who like aren't as inclusive because they have.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like, when my mom was modeling, it was like Ford, Elite, all these people were the big agencies. And I think, now there's so many agencies. There's so many. And I think more and more they're becoming inclusive, and that's where people are going.
Yeah.
But I see some questions in our comments here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Pick one.
Trying to see. Oh my God, they go so fast, huh?
I know.
Oh my goodness. Everyone is so sweet, my goodness. Katie, how many seasons are there from The Bold Type?
There are 4, but there's also the second half of season 4 that's airing in the summer.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Are you guys so filming completely stopped? You only have those 2 episodes left?
Yeah. We only had 10 days left. We were like in the middle of shooting those 2 episodes. So we had 10 days left. So now we're just trying to wait to kind of see what the network wants to do depending on when all of this, it's like everything's up in the air because it all just depends on when we're done with all
Going
of
back.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Here's
saw a question.
great question.
Oh, you go.
What are some changes you're gonna
That was the one I
make
was gonna ask.
after this pandemic?
Honestly, I feel like I've learned how to properly wash my hands. Like, I wash my hands all the time, but like nobody really does the 20
Like the
seconds.
thumbs is a big one.
The thumbs, did you watch that video? It's like a video of somebody with gloves on with like
Yes.
the dark stuff, and it shows you like what
Yes.
you miss. But like people
Yes.
like you like have to scrub your palms and like your nails
I know.
and your thumbs, and I just feel like I'm just like a crazy hand washing person. I touch anything and I wash my hands. Insane.
Wash my hands. Everything is Cloroxed. It's insane. Absolutely. What have I learned? I've learned that I'm very good at organizing. My entire house is organized to the heavens.
Do you want to come to my house? Or just you could FaceTime me and we could. I mean, I like color coordinated my closet. I have like all my dresses over there.
Great.
But like there's just like I was talking to my friend about this the other day. There's like so much stuff that I still need to like clean and get done, and I'm not doing it. And I think that part of the reason is because I'm like, if I do it, then it's done.
Exactly.
And then I have nothing else to do.
You have to like one little organizing thing is something to look forward to.
Yeah. All right. This is another question. Hunter, I've been thinking about becoming a model, but I don't know how to go about it. Advice, please.
So my biggest advice is, first of all, go for it. Because if it's something you're passionate about, I think that is, you know, as Katie, you were saying, is like, if you can make a career out of your passions, then that is huge. Every city or big city has an agency for the most part, and every agency usually has an open casting call. So, cool. For instance, like on every website, it'll say, like, I know Wilhelmina's was like every Thursday, I think 3 to 5 p.m. or something like that. And you kind of go in and you meet the agents, and you don't really need anything. I think that's the biggest misconception, is you need to come in with a full portfolio and show all these great photos, but really you go in and you're you, and you know, maybe you'll take some photos and you know, Polaroids, things like that, but go in and show your personality.
Cool. That sounds like the scariest thing ever to me.
I know.
I'm just like, you know, I'm that person, like I can take a selfie, but like when it comes to me, I get so anxious and overwhelmed. Like anytime I have to do a photo shoot for like a magazine or anything, I'm like so scared because I just like, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing with my face. Like, I don't know if I'm like having resting bitch face, or if my smile is too wide, or if I'm scowling. Like I have this thing I had to do recently, the magazine that I did the interview for today, I actually saw the pictures and they came out beautiful, but there were some on the day where I was like, I was looking like into the sun basically because we were outside shooting, and every photo came out like this, and I had no idea that my face was doing that. Like I thought that I was just like posing.
You're like, I'm feeling myself.
And then I looked at the photos and I was like, I look angry. So it's like, I'm just a person that like, I like see all these people do like these effortless photo shoots, and I'm just like, I need everyone to know that there are a lot of photos taken to get those like 1 or 2 good ones.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing, is like, especially with social media, everyone's like has the most amazing photos, and I'm like, okay, but like, let's see the photo roll. Yeah. Like we're all taking hundreds, right? Like, aren't we all doing that?
Oh yeah.
I think that goes for everybody.
Oh yeah. I have like, my selfie thing is probably the majority, and then there are some where like my eyes are half closed.
And bless a ring light.
Yes, bless a ring light. Like literally.
Yes, girl.
Need that lighting. Wait, I do have a question. You did one of those Sports Illustrated where they paint the bathing suit on your body.
I was one of the last ones that they did that
What
with.
is that like?
Oh my God, girl. If you don't have patience, it is like so it was such an
None.
insane
I have no patience.
So it took 12 hours. And the process is insane. My call time was 2 a.m. and we finally wrapped painting at 2 p.m. So they basically gave me an option for those listening. I had a bodysuit or a swimsuit painted on my body by Joanne Guerre, who is like an epic. She's been doing the body paint since like even before like the Christy Brinkley, Naomi Campbell SI swimsuit days. And the process is absolutely insane. I mean, how many layers of paint go on. They gave me an option to sleep so I could start on my back or on my stomach. So I slept for a couple hours while they were painting on my back.
Unbelievable. This is fascinating to me.
It was and everyone always asks me, they're like, so wait, because like your butt's done and everything in between is done. And I'm like, yep, we got really close. It was
I know. I'm like, do you meet those people that day and you're like, here's my naked body, paint it?
Exactly. Like literally they're like,
wow.
There's 3 girls and I met them, you know, in 20 minutes before we started, and there you go, you're naked, you're laying down and you're getting painted. But for me it was like such a liberating experience. And you know, I'm literally running it on the beach in Anguilla while people are vacationing, and little do they know I'm fully naked. Like I'm naked. And it was just so weird, the feeling.
That's insane.
Yeah. It took
and
3
then
hours
like
to wash
they
off.
must use paint that stays really well, right?
Yeah.
Or
like
were you like sweating
it
off?
It stayed in the water. It stayed everywhere. I was like, should I wear this home? Like, is this my new life now?
All right. And how long did it take to wash off?
It took 3 hours. I know.
That is nuts.
My body was like raw, like tomato red. It was unbelievable.
Oh my God.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I know. It was so great though. I was one of the last people to ever do it.
Wow. So they're not doing it anymore at all.
No, it's too like laborious and expensive and just crazy. So yeah.
Wow.
I know.
All right, I got another question. We'll do like one more after this one. Oh, it cut off.
Curious? Oh, I see
Curious.
it. Oh, wait,
I see your thoughts on photoshopping plus models. To be honest, sometimes it triggers me, even though all models in media do it regardless of size. Thank you for your, I'm assuming it's beautiful something.
Yeah, I think Photoshop in general is, listen, lots of magazines still do it. Most, I would say 98% of them do. Most brands do. I think that it's something I don't particularly love. Yeah. I think, a brand that I work with is Olay, and they just recently came out that they are no longer photoshopping their ads moving forward. So no commercials. There's no nothing to take out. There's no, if you have acne, you have acne. If they're influencers, they're not allowing any filters, nothing. Amazing. And I thought that was so amazing because it's like, okay, we can see real skin now. We can see the real results, Yeah. And I think it's the same with photoshopping. I can't stand when people Photoshop bodies.
Oh man, I have a story about this.
Do you? Tell me.
Last year I did a shoot for this magazine. It was actually the worst photo shoot that I've ever had. The photographer was really mean to me.
Really?
I'm not a model. I'm an actor. And so every pose that I did, she's like, Can you just do something? I can't work with this. Can you move or something? And so I'm sitting there and I already feel so insecure when I'm doing photo shoots that then
that's adding fuel to the fire. Yeah.
And so then we get the photos back. They photoshopped my body so heavily that I I couldn't even post the photos. Like they made my body look like I asked for the original photos after the fact, and I literally, where was I? This was probably a year ago. And I remember I was in England for work, and I was sitting in my hotel room by myself sobbing on my bed because somebody looked at my size 2 body and decided that that wasn't good enough, so they needed to Photoshop it. And like, I already get insecure about my body.
With it?
They made my body look like really long. Like they made me look like 6 feet tall. They made my arms look like super duper 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 skinny, and like I'm petite, but like I have muscles, and like
yeah,
I'm like I have a structured body.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm learning to love my body. So when I have to like see somebody Photoshop me and they Photoshop my arms to be like the size of my wrists, like all
Right.
one size going up,
Wow.
it just made me feel like I was like, okay, well, like this is why people have issues. This is why when
and
girls,
that person's ideal.
I'm like, first of all, my fans know me. They're going to be able to look at that photo and be like, that's not real.
Yeah.
And so now I've like made sure that like I'm with my reps and with the people that I do photo shoots with, like I make it clear, like, look, I'm not trying to look not like myself. I don't ever want somebody to look at a photo of me and then to see me in person and be like, that's not what you look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's unrealistic. It's embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
And I don't really have control over it. So like now I just feel like I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't want you to, my body is my body.
Yeah.
And my body's fine just as it is. I don't have to look like a 6 foot tall, 90 pound person. I'm not.
Right.
I'm 5'3", 120 pounds. And like, that's great.
That's who you are.
That's who
like,
I am.
That is insane, because it's like, basically that photographer was like, this is the way that I think is most beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and she was also a jerk, so
yeah. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, let's end this. I want to know, you talk a lot about your journey with self-love and self-care. So let's just end it off. What are you doing for yourself, for your self-love and your self-care in this quarantine?
So I have been doing this since before quarantine, and since I was 16 years old. I learned it in therapy, and I'm such a strong believer in self-affirmation. So if you are listening, I think that I got told really young to look in the mirror, and naked if you can, and tell yourself things that you want to love about yourself. And eventually they become things that you love about yourself. So, you know, I will look in the mirror, whether it be when I'm driving or when I wake up in the morning. My husband, I'm sure when we first started dating, was like, what are you doing talking to yourself? But I believe that like the way that we talk about ourselves in our mind, the way that we think about ourselves, is the biggest impact in, you know, the way that we feel and the way that we look at ourselves. And so I tell myself in the mirror every single day, I say, you know what? You are powerful. You are worthy. You are enough. Your stretch marks look amazing today. Your cellulite looks great. Your rolls, they look great today as well. You know, I think it's so important to normalize those things and rewrite the narrative in your head that we've all been kind of brainwashed to believe. Yeah. So I've been doing that in quarantine just over time.
Good. Yeah.
Yes, how about you?
I mean, for me, I'm just like, I just am a person that I am always go, 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 go. I always need to be doing something. All of my friends are like always telling me that I need to chill out and slow down. And so I think that this is the time where I'm just having to be like, all right, what do I need? What do I want to do? What's going to make me happy?
Totally.
Granted, like that's my love language is like giving people things and making people feel loved, and I like to help people, and so that's why I'm always like, are you good? Do you need this? Do you need that? And so I think I'm just starting to kind of try to find that balance now.
Amazing.
Of being able to do that, but also checking in with myself every day of like what I can do to make myself feel good, to make myself feel happy, and to connect with people. So
That's so great. I love
Yeah.
that so much.
Yeah.
It was so amazing getting to chat with you.
I know, you
This
too.
was so much fun. And when you come to New York, my doors are always open.
Yes. And if you ever come to Nashville, mine too.
Yes. All right, love. You have a good
Oh, I
rest
love
of your
you.
day
Have
today.
a great
Love
rest of
you.
your day. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.